welcome to our first episode of Keys to the Market. I am your host, Ayanna Hawkins, out of the Phoenix market in Arizona. I'm with Simple Realty, and today I'm with Miss Shamii Dieuveille. And we're going to talk about the difference between our market here in Arizona and what she's seeing there in Florida. So, Shamii, starting off, just tell us a little bit about yourself, like how long you've been in the business, what brought you to the industry, all that good fun stuff.
Awesome, awesome. Definitely want to give it back to you, Ayanna. You are an amazing, amazing person. Just connecting with you, has helped me grow in my real estate career. But my name is Shamii Dieuveille. I'm here in the Tampa real estate. I'm with Dalton Wade Realty. I got into real estate because I was a credit expert and I was finding myself, giving a lot of my leads to realtors.
Mm.
I would get them to a 700 credit score, 800 credit score. And I'm like, you know what? I need to double down on this and I need to actually help these people both ways. So I got into real estate. I've been doing it for 2.5 years now. And because I have that expertise in the credit repair, field, I kind of know what it takes to get to that closing table.
Mm.
So I've been helping so many people within my first year in real estate. I did over 1 million in sales. Second year, doubled that. So
Wow.
I'm grateful. I'm honored. And it's just about helping more people.
Absolutely. So are you thinking about possibly going into the mortgage side of things maybe later down the road? Is that in the cards?
Oh no. Oh no.
I mean, why not? But yeah, I get it. It's like there's a certain mindset to go into that side because you
Yes.
have to be like pencil and paper is black and
Yes.
white, whereas we get the kind of the fun side of it where we
Mhm.
get to do the dream part.
Exactly. And like I noticed like even going through this process with my clients, we become friends at the end of the day because you build a relationship with this person. And I like to tell people like whoever like wants to get into real estate, like you're a realtor, you're a therapist, you're an accountant, you're all those things
All of
because this person trusts you with their everything basically.
it. No, you're absolutely right about that. That is for sure. So you said you're in the Tampa market, but we actually met because I had a buyer that was looking in a small town that I never heard of before, and you jumped in and was like, "I got it," and rocked
Right.
it out. And congratulations on getting
Thank
that one to the
you.
closing
Thank you.
table. You did an amazing job. Um, the world just knows that you just had a baby. How is that like working into your real estate world right now?
Oh my goodness. So it's a funny story. When I found out I was pregnant, it was like, in the midst of my career just spiking. And I'm like, God, I don't know what to do. I don't know why would you do this right now? I got all these clients. Now you're gonna slow me down. But then he told me just focus on the people, just focus on helping. So I did just that. And throughout my whole pregnancy, like I was just up and grinding. I created a team where I'm not doing so much of the legwork. I'm not doing so many things. And that helped me so much, especially when, in pregnancy, you get tired, you get nauseated. And my clients, the good thing is my clients understood. Each and every one of my clients, they were so patient with me. And I really do appreciate that. Now, coming up to me going into labor, I was at a listing appointment.
Oh my goodness.
And at that listing appointment, I'm walking through the house, and this particular client, she had stairs, like her stairs were it. So I think that's what put me into it.
Oh, hilarious.
So I was like, you know what? These don't feel right. I timed my contractions once I got in the car. They're like 15 minutes apart. And I'm like, I think I need to like go home. Went home and I called my midwife and my doula, and they were like, listen, time the contraction again for 20 minutes. So it went from 5, it went from 7, 6, 5. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's go time.
Yeah.
I had him that night, and that listing appointment, I had pictures scheduled 2 days after. So I had him, I took a day off, and I went right back to it. Like
Oh
I
my
went
goodness.
there, took pictures, put it on the market, and that house sold within 23 days.
There you go. Congratulations to
Thank
you.
you.
So, if anybody just caught all of that, she gonna work to the exact last minute that she
Great.
possibly can for you. That's why you want her on your team. So you said
Yeah.
you started your own team, or is it a team of agents, or is it just like you have assistants? Like, how's that working for you? Because, or would you have started a team had you not got pregnant and ended up having a baby?
So I have my team consists of my transaction coordinator. So she's amazing. She helps me with all the paperwork, responding to clients and all that good stuff. And then I have a virtual assistant.
Okay.
So she's basically doing my follow-ups. She's calling, cold calling, doing all that good stuff. And then I did create a team with agents. So while I was pregnant and, the first couple of months, I did want to stay home with the baby a little bit, but I did understand, like, I had to open houses and all that good stuff. So I would delegate my team of agents. I have two young ladies. They just started real estate. And I told them, in getting into real estate, you got to get out there. You got to get in the field. So they would do my open houses for me. And then they would also like shadow me if they would come to my house. Hey, I need this. Hey, do this, call this person. So I'm grateful for them. And then of course, my husband, he was amazing. Watch the kids for me.
They're definitely part of the team. So spouses,
Right,
shout out to all of you.
right,
Perfect. So I did a little digging because again, this whole thing is really to get people to know who you are
right.
and why they want to connect with you if they're
Mhm.
buying or selling in the Tampa market. You're a foodie. I saw that on your IG. What's your favorite restaurant in Tampa?
Okay, so my favorite restaurant okay, so if we're talking brunch, I love Oxford Exchange. It's
Okay.
like high scale. It's in the middle. It's not too expensive, but I'm not a breakfast person. But then their pancakes will get me. So they
Mm,
have like this lemon custard on their pancakes, and it's just so amazing. And then for lunch and dinner, I love to go to this restaurant called Coasis.
okay.
It's the Black owned. They just started. It's very, very good. And I'm gonna tell you the key thing to that, their biscuits. Oh
Okay.
my gosh. I
Okay.
don't even like biscuits like that, but their biscuits are so flaky. It has like a honey butter to it. Like it's amazing. So if we're talking brunch, Oxford Exchange, lunch and dinner, I would say Coasis, and then one more, Lepley's.
Left.
That's a new upcoming restaurant in the Tampa area, Midtown-ish.
Mhm.
Seminole Heights, I say Seminole Heights, and it's just so amazing.
Perfect. Good to know. Good to know. All righty. So, so far we know you're a foodie. You're a new mom again. You have
Mm-hmm.
a new team, which is awesome. You've only been in the business 2 years, so to see you thrive at this point, I will say I am proud of you and keep going.
Thank
Don't
you.
stop. Don't
Thank you.
stop. The the world is your oyster as far as real estate is concerned. So now let's talk about Tampa. What is going on in the Tampa market? Because as much as I know about what is happening in Tampa comes from that show Selling Tampa. That's all I know. So, and I'm from Florida, but I'm from a different part of Florida. So I know things are different. The thing that ran me out, believe it or not, were hurricanes. Are you guys kind of seeing that same thing with why people are moving now? Is it because of weather related situations or it's just life generally speaking?
I believe it's life. I don't believe it's the hurricanes. I don't believe it's the weather because, tropical beaches. A lot of people are moving over here, like especially the snowbirds. They just came over here and took over.
Really?
Yes, they have. But I believe it's more so of a change that people want. Tampa, it is growing. I've been living here for what, 8 years now. I'm originally from Miami.
Okay.
So I've seen Tampa went like just took its peak, especially with restaurants, with different things that's going on within the community. It's definitely a game changer. So like you can go out and just enjoy yourself, watch a movie on the lawn. Like they have stuff like that now. Whereas so before they did not. So I feel like people, if you move out of here, it's you just want to change.
Gotcha. No, completely understandable. I love the beaches there because, like I said, I'm from the east side of Florida, so the Atlantic side, and then you have
Mhm.
the Gulf side, and there is a complete difference in what the beaches look like in the same
Yeah.
state, and it's the craziest thing. But we
Mhm.
just love going over there. The vibe is awesome. Now the traffic's not that great, but I mean that's everywhere. Any big city, any up and coming city, you're gonna run into that problem.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it is what it is at this point. Alrighty, so trends in your market right now. Are you guys, how's your inventory? Are you more on the seller side where they're getting the advantage, or are buyers actually being able to negotiate things right now?
So we're more so on the in the middle and but more so on the seller side. I would say that because especially with interest rates spiking up and then going down, buyers are kind of like, this house is way too much. I don't want to buy it at this price.
Mm,
But then again, people do have to understand that it's that's the world we live in now.
yeah.
So if you're gonna wait for a long time. So I had one particular buyer, she was like, I'm just gonna wait until the market goes down. Like you can't predict when the market goes down. So the house at the time was 500,000. And she was like, we're gonna start back. And that was like in November. In this January, the following year, she decided like, hey, I want to start again. That same house, that same builder, they were offering $700,000. So I'm like, you see, you should have never waited. So now it's like, I want to wait again, and it's nothing's changing. So I believe it is a seller's market right now. Getting where you fit in, that's what I
There you
say.
go. There you
Um,
go.
because things like if you're in a position to, then do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes the most sense to me. I always tell my buyers like that one question we get all the time, is it a good time to buy? And my answer is simply that depends on you.
Yep.
If
Mm-hmm.
if all the stars align for you, then now's the time to buy. If not,
Exactly.
then okay, let's wait until everything is where you want it to be. But getting to a point where you have to realize that that may never happen. So,
Exactly.
like you said, you get in where you fit in. Even thinking of along the lines of a lot of people don't want to do it anymore, but we don't want to do starter homes anymore. Everybody wants to move into the grand house immediately. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just not the way to go. You got to do those baby steps. So I buy this one house, I turn that into a rental property, or I sell it, take the equity. Now I can buy my new, brand new.
True.
But it's having that piece where we talk to them, and that's where we come in as realtors and kind of make those realizations and make those the word I'm looking for, understandings that it's not about the market, it's about you and what your plans are and what your intentions are going forward. So
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
True.
Do you guys have a strong like Ron, is there a lot of building going on for homes in Tampa?
Yes, there is. So builders, we have a lot of land here in Tampa, and what I'm noticing is that these builders are coming, and they are just buying up all the land and building and building and building. And it's not only the builders that like Lennar and DR Horton. Not we have these private builders coming in and building as well.
Mm,
So there's a lot of building going on. I was just driving by more so on the north side of Tampa, going towards Wesley Chapel area and Zephyr Hills. That I used to live there like 3 years ago, and oh my goodness, the builders have just bought everything up.
really?
So it's a lot of new construction being built. It's a lot of new builders coming out. So yeah, we do have a lot coming out.
So it sounds like a lot of opportunity there for anybody that's either looking to invest or looking to live there.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it is. It is a lot. I
Perfect.
just had this one client, we closed last week, and they just bought a townhome, a new build, just to rent it out. So it is an opportunity. Yep.
Perfect. Is there okay? Because I know here, it's been a lot of chitter and chatter, and I'm going off script a little bit, but there's a lot of chitter and chatter about like Airbnbs. So a lot
Mhm.
of places are banning them. Are you guys seeing that same thing down in Tampa?
So I do have Airbnbs all over Tampa. And it is becoming a bit tough. So I've been doing Airbnbs for 3 years now. Been in that space. I not only use Airbnb, that platform, but we do delegate different kinds. But it has changed so much, so
Hmm,
much it has changed. Um, People are not traveling like that anymore.
true.
When COVID came, it kind of slowed down everything. And then, some if you're arbitraging them, it's so many stipulations now. So one place actually kicked us out.
Oh,
Yes, so it is becoming very, very difficult to do it, but then again, it still can be done because some people still do travel. Some people still need, like, if they're building, like I had a client reach out to me, I'm building, but I need somewhere to stay for 3 months. So that's where Airbnb came.
Okay, perfect. That's a good like segue between the two is being able to
Mhm.
offer that as a service, especially
Right.
when you have incoming clients from different places because I run into that a lot. And it's
Mhm.
that timing, trying to make sure all goes well. And there's always something crazy that pops up that you got to deal with. And it's like, what do we do now? And so, no, that's awesome that you're able to provide that as a service to your client.
Yes.
So, what areas, because Tampa's not super big, but it's big enough. What areas of town are the buyers kind of flocking to right now?
So I would say more so in the Riverview, Waimama, Ruskin, Gibsonton, um, Ruskin area.
Hmm.
And because the houses are, it's a new development area. Builders are coming here and building houses. It's an area that, it's things are growing. So a lot of people are ditching Tampa and, the known cities and coming over here to buy the houses a little bit cheaper.
Okay.
The equity, they have a lot of equity when it comes to it. So I believe those areas, Riverview, Waimama, Ruskin, Gibsonton, are the air Apollo Beach. I don't want to forget that one. Um, those are the areas that are up and coming right now. And a lot of people are moving over here because it's much cheaper to buy a
And they're
house in
figuring that out.
Wesley Chapel. Yep. A house
Okay.
in Wesley Chapel, when I was gonna buy in Wesley Chapel, Zephyr Hills area, was like 400,000. And when I bought it over here in Riverview, it was $100,000 less.
For the same house almost?
Same house, same builder, same everything.
Oh, hilarious. That's always fun. What's the commute looking like like if you move to one of those outskirts, is it far from where you would typically work or is it, workable? Is it functional, like drivable?
Honestly, no. It's why I stay right here. I hate driving. So I'm like, if I really, really have to go, then I'll go. But the commute, especially to Tampa, will be like 25 to 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Traffic, 45 minutes.
That's still not bad because so I live in if I probably do a little math. I live in a little town called Florence. Florence
Mhm.
is about 60 miles, I think, from Phoenix. That's
Wow.
easily an hour drive with no traffic.
Wow.
So it's that's what we're kind of seeing here is because, like you said, everybody want you want to live in Phoenix. That's where the opportunities for work are. That's where a lot of the industries are in that area. The airports there, obviously. So ideally, you want to be as close to those things as possible. But then, like you said, when the market starts to change and prices start to swell, and you still got the outskirts, now you got to make a decision. What's more important, convenience or price? And a
Yep.
lot of times, price will win just because that's where life is right now. And now you got that hour there, hour back commute. So you have to like mentally prepare for that going forward.
Yep. Yep.
And we moved out here kind of sight, no, we moved out here sight unseen. It wasn't kind of, we never been here before.
Wow.
So to get here and to realize that luckily we've already kind of been in that situation living in Jacksonville, where
Mhm.
Jacksonville is such a big town where to go from one side to the other is easily a 40-minute drive. So
Right.
that was already kind of programmed in our mental when we got here. But for some people that are from like New York, Chicago, places where you can pretty much walk everywhere to then get here and realize, oh my God, I gotta drive everywhere I want to go. Like that's a lot.
That's a big that's a culture change, I would say.
Hmm.
Like we went to New York and it's you can't even drive in New York for real.
Literally,
It's bump to car bumps to bumps and it's like, you know, coming here and I appreciate it so much because I can get in my car and go like enjoy a good time and get in and go back in and come back home. But yeah, it's a culture shock.
for sure. So what about a Tampa house is gonna make me want to buy it? Like here, you're not gonna find very many houses that have basements. Florida,
Mhm.
I don't think there are any houses that have basements. Um, Here you're gonna find a lot of houses are in HOA communities because that's just how they built them up. What in Tampa makes those houses different from other houses, say in Miami? What would make, the homes there stand out as, or is it kind of cookie cutterish or are they custom? Like, what do the actual homes kind of what do you get for that? What's the vibe behind the houses themselves?
So I think depending on the builder that
Mm,
you pick, or if you're going through like, somebody already bought the house, but I think it's a builder and we're more so luxury. The builders are becoming more luxurious, which is a good thing. So, maybe the faucet might be different. We don't have basements here. The landscape is different. We have more room in the back, your backyard.
mhm.
You might get that extra bedroom. But they are kind of cookie cutter. But what I'm noticing is the more luxurious touches to it.
Okay. So what's the like this if I were a first time buyer, what's the entry, the cost of entry to get into a house in Tampa right now? Ideally, like what are we looking at? Are there still homes under 400,000 or is everything kind of there and above?
So no, there are still homes under 400,000. Um a starter home for a first time home buyer would be around like the 290 up to 350 range.
Okay.
I would say if you're going new built. Now, if you're not and you just want, a regular home, sometimes they'll go up from 250 and up. So it just depends like where your budget is, what you want your mortgage to be.
Yeah.
That's a key fact. So it just that's the factors when it comes to like especially with first time home buyers. But I would definitely say you can get a lot for your buck.
Oh, that's good to know. Do you guys have yards? Like I heard you say that earlier, but like for real yards, like I can go in the backyard and can I throw a football or is it literally
Yes. No. Yes, we have big yards, big lanais, which is amazing. I like my yard right now is huge. My kids don't utilize it
of course not.
as they should.
Of course not.
But it's pretty big. We have a trampoline out there. We have a playground area out there. Some of my clients, they even put a pool behind their house. It's
Mhm.
that big, like there's still more space to play around. You're not so close to your neighbors because that's one thing that I don't like.
Yeah. No,
So you have that space, that breathing space with your neighbors. So that's a good thing as well.
perfect. Because I know like here, as more builders start to come in and they're buying land, they're trying to get more bang for their buck, obviously. And it feels like the houses, like you can do this and reach out and touch your neighbor. So that's
Yes.
good to know that in Tampa, at least you can breathe a little bit.
Right.
Oh, quick question. All right. So, thing when I moved out here, people have pools. That's cool. But one thing that we had in North Florida, when you have a pool, you have this big old covering over your pool.
Yep.
It's basically an enclosed pool. They don't do that out here.
Oh,
I've seen it once. The entire 4 or 5 years I've been here, I've seen it one time.
wow.
How about in Tampa? Is that the norm or is everybody just exposed to the elements out there with their pools?
So I guess it just depends on the style that you want.
Mhm.
So I've seen clients who have the big old screen covering over it. And I think it's more of a, I want my space, I want my privacy type of thing. But then I do have some clients where they want, no, I want to showcase my pool. I paid this money for it. I want to show the little waterfalls going down, all that good stuff. So no, I guess it just depends on the person. And I would more so say I like it where it's not screened in.
Really? I think
Yeah,
I prefer it screened in because I don't want to have to keep cleaning the pool. So I feel like the screen
true.
keeps me from having to
That's
clean
true.
leaves out of it and all that other fun
That's
stuff.
true.
That's just me. I'm just saying. So, are there out here we're having a lot of tech industry come in and that's where people are starting to kind of flock to because that's where the jobs are you guys
Mhm.
seeing any incoming industries that weren't there before that are kind of having an effect on the housing market?
Um, Not so much per se. I wouldn't see so much. I know, Amazon has striked up a lot, even from their cars has changed, but I wouldn't say, yeah, not so much of a spike in industry. More people here are working from home.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of there, yeah, more people are working from home. Most of my clients are work from home, or they're more so like, I want to get into the entrepreneurial space.
Oh,
So I would say more so like, yeah, work from home.
Okay, that's cool. I would guess that keeps the people from having to drive.
Mhm.
So, what kind of buyers are you typically seeing? Are you seeing more first-time buyers? Are you seeing more buyers that are like, I've had this house and now I want to get something bigger or smaller? Are you having snowbirds? Because I heard you mention that earlier, that you guys are kind of seeing an influx of snowbirds. But generally speaking, what's your buyer profile looking like right now?
So it's a mixture of everything. So my niche in real estate is more so on the referral base. So I'm getting, people who are coming into Tampa and they just want a new life. They want to start fresh. I'm getting first-time home buyers. I'm also getting people who investors. I'm getting a lot of investors who just want to buy a house and rent it out. So I would say a mixture of everything. But I cherish and I love my people who come from a different state because then I can showcase Tampa.
There
I
you
can
go.
showcase Ruskin. I can showcase Riverview, Wesley Chapel, and just tell you what this area has to offer. So and they appreciate it too. So I would say I'm getting a mixture of everyone.
I love that. I love that. What kind of properties are in high demand? Is everyone looking for the single family home? Are they going towards the townhouses? Or is it just, again, kind of, it's coming in a case by case basis?
I would say more so on single family housing. Um, People don't want to, especially if you're coming from an apartment.
Mm.
Most of my clients, they don't want to do townhouses. And I asked one client before, like, why, and they were like, no, I don't want people to hear me.
Oh,
Yeah, so I think the single family houses are what's, a lot of people are attracting right now because it has so much to offer.
for sure.
Especially people with families with families. They're they want a room for their kid, they want a loft, they want a play area. So yeah, I would believe the single family homes are what's doing it out here.
Okay, so if you have condos and you have townhouses already, just thinking forward, then
Yep.
that's gonna probably become a rental before it's something that you sell, is what it
Yes,
sounds
yes, yes. And if I do sell a condo, it is a rental property.
like. Ah, gotcha.
Yep.
Already it's a rental.
Yes.
Understood. Going forward, do you see any challenges for like buyers in your market there? Is your inventory starting to shrink? Are people staying in their homes longer? Or is it just what everybody's seeing right now, generally speaking?
I think it's what everyone's seeing right now. Especially if you bought in 2020, 2021, your interest rate was amazing. So if people are just being stagnant. So even speaking for myself, I bought in 2020, and my interest rate was a 2% interest rate. It was a 2% interest rate. And, as my families continue to grow, because back in 2020, it was just my oldest.
Mhm.
And now I just gained two little ones. So it's like, okay, now we need that space. But then this interest rate was just amazing. So yeah, I think it's more so of the economy and what's going on now. And if you do want to buy at this moment, it's like you have everything squared away. Everything is good for you. So now, okay, let's go to the next step.
For sure, for sure. Um, are there any misconceptions about Tampa that you want to clear up right now? Like people know, because you'll get things like, especially out here, it's always hot. You got people thinking that it don't rain in Florida. Like, is there something about Florida that, or Tampa, generally speaking, that you want people to know? Hey, don't believe what you heard. This is what I know.
I would say more so the traffic. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. They're now what they're doing is they're building different ways to get around Tampa. So like from me or from like where I initially sell at,
Mhm.
there's like five different ways you can get to the heart of the city.
Oh,
So I would say traffic is not that bad. So a
okay.
lot of people like, I don't want to come to Florida because of the traffic. No, it's not.
It is. I'm gonna be quiet about it. Do you have any upcoming events, any seminars, any open
Yes.
houses, anything you want the world to know
Yes,
about?
yes, yes, yes. So I do have every month, I am going to plan to do a home buyer seminar, or just a real estate seminar in general, just to kind of tell people like what's the process in getting a home if you're a first-time home buyer, or different investment opportunities. A lot of my investors are coming with like, hey, I need a hard money lender. Like, so I'm gonna set in place where I'm gonna have an event every month, whether it's in person or virtually. That way I can educate more people on the process of real estate in general. So another thing that, I wanted to touch on, a lot of people, because I'm Haitian, a lot of my people, they don't know the home buying process.
Mm.
And once I get, hey, you got to do this, you got to do, they're like, huh, what? And they expect me to do everything. So I really want to educate that part as well. Like, hey, this is what you do. Your taxes need to be in order if you're an entrepreneur. Your job needs to be in order. Don't go and leave your job. Like, so a lot of things that people don't know. Like I had one client, God bless her soul. But during the home buying process, she decided to buy a big purchase. And it was like, no, not right now. So that kind of killed the deal. But I just want to educate people on that as
On the
well.
process itself.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And so, is there anything you want to leave the viewers with? Anything you want them to know again about Tampa, about you, about your process, what they can expect when they work with you? Anything along those lines that you want the folks to take home today?
Yeah. So I would say don't wait, buy now. I do offer a free home buyer guide, a free seller's guide, just so you can know the process. I would say Tampa is elevating in many different ways, from our restaurants within the community. So another thing that I would definitely put out is, if you work with me, I don't make it where you're like, oh my gosh. I'm more so of a friend, and I'm here to guide you through the process. So I tell my clients, like, don't shy away. Let me know what's going on.
Hmm.
Working with somebody who understands. I've been in your shoes as well. I have kids. Like, I'll tell my clients, hey, bring your kids with you. Let's go to lunch or something. That way they can feel more comfortable. Especially if you're coming out of town, just know you got brunch on me.
Yay!
I always treat my out-of-towners with brunch or lunch or dinner. That way we can, sit down and go through the process and kind of game plan as well. I love game planning. That way you know what's going on, what to expect as well.
For sure. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It has been an absolute pleasure. Again, this is Miss Shamii Dieuveille. I love saying it like that because I like Dvil. So I watch The Wiz a lot. But no, thank you so much for joining us. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you
No,
all
thank
for watching.
you.
If you're looking to move to the Tampa area, she is the agent that you want to be attached to. She knows her stuff. So definitely reach out. And if there's anything we can do for you in the Phoenix market, I'm always available. Ayanna Hawkins with Simple Realty. Thank you again for joining us. Have a wonderful day.
Bye, everyone.